Okay, so hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today we're gonna have a look at some Sony cameras and different modes on them. Sorry, excuse me. So, first up we have my trusty old A7R Mark II, and I also have a A6300 and the Sony A7S, which is recording this right now on my A7S Shogun. So, I have been trying to figure out S-log, which this actually is recording in right now. It has been a bit of a bumpy ride, I would say. So, I wanted to share some of my results with you all. So, all shots are recorded on the A7S Shogun, and just for quality purposes, all except for my 5D Mark II clip, which is in here. So the first part is going to be about base ISO and a bit of bad lighting. I did an indoor test with a book and a flower and some candles and stuff like that. So you're gonna be able to see the difference in quality and also difference in exposure, unfortunately. But you're gonna also see the difference in quality, where I actually found out that my A6300 actually performs the best, which is quite odd. I actually thought the A7R Mark II should be the winner, but the more you know. So I got a test outdoor, I got a test indoor, and I got a test in direct sunlight. So first up we have my A7S at 3200 ISO. We can see here in the shadows, when we crop in, there's a lot of noise, and yeah, it's a lot of noise, and I don't like noise in the shadows. But well, still with some sharpening, you are able to read the text in the book, but I wouldn't call this a winning shot. So let's move along, and up next is my A6300 at ISO 3200 as well. And here we can see, first of all, it's cropped, since the A6300 has a Super 35 sensor, or actually APS-C, but when it's recording it's in Super 35. And we can see here, well, not as much noise as in the A7S, which is quite strange. They're both at the same ISO, so it shouldn't actually this should underperform, and as we can see, it's a bit darker since the exposure isn't exactly the same. One thing to note, the lens is the same on all these tests indoor. I used a Canon 24-70 f4L lens, which is the only lens you can mount on all the cameras I have. Let's look at the cropped in shot here. Here we can see I didn't crop in so much, but you can actually read. If you pause the video, you can actually read. This is crazy, and as you can see, there's still a bit of noise in the shadows, but I wouldn't say not as much noise as it is in some of my other shots. So let's move to the big gun, the A7R Mark II in full frame mode at ISO 3200 and S-log 2. Here we can see there's a bit more noise, unfortunately, but it's still better quality than my A7S. and if we looked into the crop, it's not that sharp. Strange. Let's investigate that. Let's try and use the APS-C mode, or Super 35 mode on the A7R Mark II and see what happens. Wow, it's a big difference. There's much less noise, and oh my god, the quality is super crisp. That's really cool. So that's a real winner. So let's look at a comparison between the A7R Mark II and the A6300 cropped, and just by looking at these two side by side, I would say probably the victory goes to the A7R Mark II, but maybe you think otherwise, and just leave a note down in the comments below. So I also included a shot from my 5D Mark II. As you can see, you can barely read the text, but it's a very old camera, and it's one of the first in full HD. So yeah, I would say it's not a fair comparison at all to make this old camera do this, but well, it's still an old camera and it still can perform. So now we're gonna see an outside test with my A6300 at base ISO in S-log, which is 800 ISO. As you can see, it's pretty bad color. That's because I haven't added a lot yet. So what's happened when we add a lot? Oh, now everything comes to life. So yeah, and here you can see the big thing with 4K. You can actually crop in and reframe your shot. That's really good. You could actually use this shot. So now let's move outside of my comfort zone, which is my backyard or indoor, and I went to a place called Överenhörna and recorded some stuff there for you guys, and there was very nice weather. The sun was starting to set, so let's have a look at that. So first of all, we have got my A6300 in S-log 2. This is with a lot, and you actually can see the shadows and everything. It's looking pretty good. I also included the A6300 in Cine 4, which is a picture profile, another picture profile. You may have to set that up separately, and well, you can compare the results. I would say I got a bit more out of the highlights, and the sun is more yellowy, but that you can change in post. One thing to note, all videos here are from camera and just adding LUT. I haven't done any correction on them, any correction. So we got the A6300 with the Cine 4 here, so you can compare. And yeah, let's. I also did a shot with my A7R Mark II, just for fun, with a 70-200mm lens. And here we have it in S-log 2. I would say this. So yeah. I think you get a lot out of S-log if you know how to use it correctly. So during all the time I've been out shooting now with the cameras, I've actually learned a lot about S-log, and actually how to expose and stuff like that. So if you guys want me to make a tutorial for you on S-log 2, please make a comment down below. Otherwise, like this video, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.